This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 17. It reads, Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Shalom, shalom, Akim. Before I begin, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakorash. Double honor to my elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule. Teach all the time of the truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, salutations, and to the hopeful elect Akwato listening in truth and sincerity. Hey, may how Bashma Shah Barakatam to all those listening. All right, I'm the brother Gabaria Allah out here with another lesson, man. And this lesson's gonna be short, and straight to the point, man. It's gonna be entitled, Are You a New Creature? Okay, are you a new creature? Now, what inspired me to make this lesson is actually, I'm gonna go pick up my little sister from my mom's house. All right, and um, I live in LA, so the traffic here be crazy, literally all the time. And before I would be really, angry and I would be very, let my emotions, overtake me. Not in the sense of, like taking it to road rage and like, swerving and doing all this and that, but to the point where I would be visibly frustrated inside the car. And you know, I just took a look back at how I, you know, pretty much maneuver now. How I maneuver now and like, like damn, you know, all things you have to be a new creature. Everything must change, right? And this isn't no Christianity bull crap where you gotta be all lovey-dovey. No, but being in this ministry is understanding that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, right? Higher ranking demons. Okay. You don't know what that demon could, possibly have you do in the sense of having road rage. Okay. And that's just one example, right? There's plenty of examples where people pull out guns, people die over these things. People die over these small, peculiar things, and brothers in the faith should never be a part of any of that, right? And we actually got counsel from some of the elders out here, in the sense of, that road rage stuff a couple months back. All right. And, pretty much the point of the council was, look, take control of your emotions. Okay. A man who doesn't control his emotions is a dangerous man. That's why women crash all the fucking time. Scripture say that woman is a weaker vessel, and that's why they crash all the fucking time. They let nerves or anger and this, that, and the third let it get the best of them, and they end up crashing and doing this, that, and the third, you know. But we got to be new creatures in Yahushua, right? We can't let these little things, get to us. We understand that we have, a whole different battle that we're fighting. All right, so I'm gonna go back to 2 Corinthians 5. All right, and I'll start at verse. Um, Let me see. Like I said, I wanted to get straight to the point, so I'll start at verse. I'll start at verse 15. And that he died for all, and that all is going into all Israelites, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose up again, right? Unto Yahushua. All right. And Yahushua is what? Long suffering. Okay. Yahushua has, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has the greatest patience of anyone, you know. Like imagine Jake is a very stubborn, stiff-necked people, and the Lord is still having mercy on us every single day, right? I mean, think about the little minute things that we do every day that, possibly, we understand we shouldn't be doing, right? All of those things, and the Lord, all those things before you was in the ministry, and the Lord winked at all that, and He literally dropped all of it now that you're back, and oh yeah, yeah, He wants you to come back. I mean, you know, that's that's long suffering, bro. That's great mercy. All right, and we should show forth that great mercy and to Akim, right, to bros, okay, and we understand, and this right here, I'm speaking about Jake, right? the brothers inside. Them Edomites and them heathens, they all gonna get it. They all gonna take part in the kingdom and in the sense of being slaves. All right, and they're all gonna um be subjected unto us. Right? We're gonna rule over them. Okay? And for the first 1,000 years, they're gonna be rebuilding our kingdom. They're gonna be rebuilding our kingdom, and eventually, after the 1,000 year period, the Edomites are gonna be done away with through. All right. So don't take this in some type of Christianity bullcrap because it's not. All right. It says, um, verse 16, wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh. Yea, though we have known Hamashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth we know him no more because he's not, here, right? We know obviously how about Shema shine the spirit, but we can't see him here. All right, it says, verse 17, and here's the point. Wherefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Exactly, and that is the point. He is a new creature. Being able to be a man and handle your emotions properly. Being able to move a certain way. All right. Being able to give your burdens up unto the Lord. All right. Are you a new creature? Ask yourself these things. Can you truly see a difference within yourself? You know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Can you truly see that difference? Or are you just the same individual? Because if you are, then something ain't right, bro. Shit, even a year from now, you should see growth. Looking back a year from now, you should have seen growth. All right? Certain things that you maybe did not do, maybe you did better this time around. Maybe you do better this time around. You know? Whatever it is, whatever the case may be, you gotta be constantly on the up, constantly trying to improve yourself in every which way. That's how you become a new creature. All right? Wherefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. See that? Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And that stems from your mannerisms, how you carry yourself, how you treat other people. I remember a couple months ago, the elder Mayaka Allah, he made a video, and in his lesson, he said, GMS Inspiration of the Almighty. He pretty much said that everybody should have a good report about you, right? And the way you carry yourselves, and the way you know, perceive life, the way you think. All those things are factored into being that new creature. You know, are you still the same stingy, angry, fucking individual, or did you change? All right. A lot of times the Lord will have it so that you do a whole 180. I testimony for myself. I used to be very stingy. You took one chip from my fucking Dorito bag, and I'll look at you funny for the rest of the day. You know? And this shit is funny, but it ain't no joke, man. Okay. And Lord will have you do a whole 180. You see? So you can see within yourself that you are a new creature, right? There's a saying that goes, how does it go? Old saying that goes, I believe it goes self belief is overrated. I prefer to use evidence. Okay? And how do you look at the evidence to all the things that you done did? All right? All the things you done did, how do you move? Use that evidence. All right? Especially when these demons start to creep in, when they tell you something. Oh, you ain't a new creature. Look at you. Use evidence what are you doing every single day? Use that evidence. Like, oh yeah, if I ain't a new creature, how come I'm doing this? If the Lord didn't did it with me, then why did he put the spirit on me to do this and this? That's evidence that you can use to combat these demons. That's putting on the armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? It says, and all things are of the Most High, who hath reconciled us to himself by Yahushua HaMashiach, and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Right? Okay, when you look that word up, actually I want to look it up in the regular dictionary. All right. because I don't have the blue letter pulled up right now. The reconciliation is the restoration of friendly relations. You see that? The action of making one view or belief compatible with another. Nah, but the first one is all right. The restoration of friendly relations. And that's what we're trying to do with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, being a new creature, man. Letting things go. If a brother apologized to you, let it go. However you used to move in the world, let that shit go, man. You know, some brothers like to be very, talk a lot. Some brothers like to talk in the world, in the sense of, hey, how you doing? How you do, this and that, this and that. You know, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's something that we got to be lively stones, man, as the scriptures say, lively stones. Be very vivid, be very, carry yourself a certain way, have mannerisms. All right, don't just be that freaking dude who just like you ming mugging everybody, and then you wonder why no girl, why? Then you wonder why you alone. Like motherfucker, you looking at everybody like Mark Henry. You know what I mean? And when Mark Henry walking down the stage, you looking at everybody like that. So no shit, no girl gonna run up, gonna try to talk to you. Look at how you look, man. All right. This shit is, and I'm not trying to clown on no, particular brother, but if that's you, then lighten up, man. We in hell. We understand we in hell. We in captivity. This is our hell. You know what I mean? But why would you make it worse on yourself? You know? Show the Lord that, look, Lord, you have us in this captivity, and I'm still doing your work, and I'm still, I'm not, I want to get out of here. Don't get me wrong, Lord, but look at the way I carry myself. You know? It says, to wit, that Yahweh was in Hamashiach, reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, and hath committed us unto us the word of reconciliation. Now, this world is not speaking of the whole, everybody in this world. Okay, that's speaking just to the Israelites, right? Because Paul wrote to the Jakes that were in Corinth, okay, to the Israelites that were in Corinth. All right. So this is only speaking unto the Israelites. It isn't speaking of the whole world. Okay. It says, now then, we are ambassadors for Hamashiach, as though the Most High did beseech you by us. We pray you in Hamashiach's stead, be ye reconciled to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, for he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of the Most High in him. Exactly, bro. And how do we reconcile with the Most High? How do we reconcile with the Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai? By repenting. All right. By repenting. And you want to do that. You want to show the Lord that you can do that and you can repent and be, you know, that lively stone. You want to show the Lord that, look, Lord, I mean, imagine that, bro. Like when you're watching two different people, who would you rather want to watch? Who would you rather root for? The individual who's going through it, but he's still like, hell yeah, let's keep going, or you want to root for the other dude who's like, ah, fuck, man, I don't even want to do this shit no more. Like he's constantly complaining and this and that. You can be like, man, this dude, bro, that what was me spirit. Like, damn, man, this guy, man, he won't stop complaining. You know, like I can't stand working out with an individual like that. You're just complaining. You barely doing some squats the first set, and you already bitching. Man, I ain't trying to be around you. I'm trying to be around the guy who's like, yeah, keep going. You hit that failure, then you freaking drop some weight, keep going. You know. But like I said, I didn't want to make this too long, so now I'm gonna close out here in Ephesians 4 and get straight to the point in verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversations of the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. Right, man? Because the lust is deceitful, it lies. Right? I want you to do the things that'll separate you from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Exactly, man. Your mind. Be renewing the spirit of your mind. The way you think, the way you move, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms. You know, or you just, when you see an old lady, walk by you, are you ming mugging the hell out of her? Or you like saying, hey, good morning, you know? Like I'm not saying be all buddy buddy with the world. That's not what I'm saying. But have a that lively characteristic to you, bro. Because Jake naturally just a happy people. You know, that's why everybody want to be around Jake. We just give off that natural, happy people, right? And right now we in a state of mourning because we in captivity. But in the kingdom, it ain't gonna be like that. All right? In the kingdom, it ain't gonna be like that. You see? It says, and that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. Exactly, bro. You want to be like Yahweh Shai. All right? You want to put on that new man and be like, look up to Yahweh Shai, bro, and how he carried himself when he was in the world. All right? What did he say? Was he all high and mighty? He thought himself to be above everybody, and no one could talk shit to him. No, he called himself a servant, just like his disciples. He said, I am a servant. And then let me grab that real quick and then I'll end it off. I believe that's in what? Oh, man, that might be let me see. Shoot, that might be in um that might be in Luke. No, it's one of the Gospels, I believe. Mm, let me see. Bear with me, Baba Gesha. I'm trying to grab this. Man, I always forget where this one is too. Man, I know it's one of the Gospels though. Oh my gosh. Forgive me, brothers. Oh my goodness. But he calls himself a servant as well. Oh boy. Let me see. That's in Mark. No, I don't want that one. Keep showing me the same one. Forgive me, brothers. This is taking a little while. Alright, I'm back. Salaki about that. I finally found him. This is Matthew 20 and 28. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life as a ransom for many. Okay, see that, and he reiterates it again in the in Mark 10:45. It says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many." Right, and that many being what? Being the Israelites, right? And right now on this side being the the elect. All right. Now it says, let me see. See, yep, in the New American Standard Bible, Matthew 20 and 28, it says, "Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." See that? So even Yahushua came to serve. He called himself, Yahushua. There's another one where he calls himself a servant, roughly paraphrasing, but I believe it may be in Mark or one of the Gospels, I believe. But that's pretty much it. I can, Salaki again for the for the long delay, man. But the Spirit had me bring that out. Anyways, Lord willing was edifying. Lord willing was uplifting. I want to close out by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakodash. Divine yet again to my elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach all, who taught me the truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, salutations.